Good morning. It's time to get in touch. In Touch is a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, News Director at Backyard Broadcasting.
Well, I checked online at caclive.com, and the mission statement for the Community Arts Center on 4th Street in Williamsport is to enhance the quality of life for the community by providing exceptional arts and entertainment events and participatory activities. And today in the studio for In Touch, we have Jim Dougherty, and you are the Community Arts Center Director of all of the things that go on stage, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Thanks for coming into In Touch today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm just looking forward to a pretty good year for the Community Arts Center because we have great shows on the way. You just had a recent announcement of a pretty big rock and roll artist. I mean, we're looking forward to that. Plus, all kinds of good stuff after the pandemic. So where should we start, Jim?
Well, let's talk about the future.
Okay.
Not about the last 2 years.
Because the pandemic does definitely rough on your bottom line, I'm sure, and we're looking forward to good things.
Yes, yeah, it was. I always kind of joke that if you ever get the opportunity to take over a live performance venue in the midst of a global pandemic, say no.
It's a little bit of a backtrack, I guess. But you know what? You have good things on track for
yes.
you. You have certainly
very
brought
excited.
it to the forefront.
Yeah, we have a lot of great acts. The great news about this is the last thing I'll say about the pandemic. The great news is that now everybody is on tour and everybody wants to put on shows.
Yes.
So we have a lot to choose from. And it's been a little bit challenging because everybody else wants to put shows on as well. But we've got some great shows coming up in the next 9 months to a year, and I'm really excited about them.
We were just recently talking about the fact that aren't we lucky to have a beautiful venue right here in Williamsport? We don't have to travel. Sometimes some of the shows, we have to wait a little bit maybe for an act or something, but we have great opportunities to see entertainment here.
It's true. And what a lot of folks, I think a lot of local folks don't know is that we're a nonprofit venue, so we are very community oriented. We put on a lot of local shows in addition to nationally touring shows. And obviously, we get big names like ZZ Top from time to time. Ringo Starr has played in the venue, Willie Nelson, Aretha Franklin. Lots of folks have played in the Community Arts Center. But we also do a lot of great local programming, for local. Like Home and College puts on a lot of performances there. The Community Theater League does a few performances a year in our space. The Uptown Music Collective, the Williamsport Symphony Orchestra, lots and lots of local groups use the space as well.
Think about if they had to go somewhere else then.
Yeah, and we're very pleased. I mean, personally, I'm a Williamsport native, so obviously I love to, to be able to kind of showcase that community talent. I went to Williamsport High School. I was in the marching band and the jazz band and played drums in a lot of local bands in the early 90s. And I know when we have high school students come into the Art Center, whether it's for theater or for music or for whatever, we see those kids, and even younger, we see them get up on that stage and look around, and the awestruck look on their face is really incredible to see.
That's what got me out of my home after the pandemic was the Uptown Music Collective performing at the Community Arts Center. Several of their shows were amazing.
Yeah, they really are always amazing.
They are always amazing.
Yeah,
right. Absolutely. And I'm thinking that you as a mentor in that way probably gives you a lot of satisfaction as far as in this
absolutely spot. Yeah. I mean, and I don't want to overstate my role, particularly with the Uptown Music Collective. I mean, Dave Brumbaugh and his crew really are the ones that craft those incredible shows. But yeah, I love to be a part of it. I love to be able to kind of offer those opportunities, and put people on the same stage that a former Beatle was on.
That's so great. I can't wait to come to the Community Arts Center in October here. We're going to be having a pretty big rock and roll band on a Saturday night.
Yeah, we're really excited to have ZZ Top on October 8th. It's going to be a fantastic show.
And ticket sales started a couple weeks ago, so we're looking forward to maybe, I don't know, how close you're going to get to selling out of that?
We're hoping so. Yeah.
I think so. We were talking about it here at Backyard Broadcasting. Like, no doubt people are going to want to see ZZ Top.
Yeah. We get a couple tribute bands every year, too, because, sometimes we have, for instance, we have Hotel California, which is a tribute to the Eagles coming up in September. But this is the real ZZ Top. And I've had to clarify that for a couple people. This is not a tribute band. This is the real deal.
These are the guys. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get them over here to a little meet and greet at Backyard Broadcasting.
They don't do a whole lot of interviews anymore, but we'll do what we can. We'll try.
Can't hurt to ask.
No,
right?
That's right. Never hurts to ask.
Well, when does the box office open if you wanted to give a call for any tickets?
Our box office is open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay.
We are occasionally open on Saturday. It really depends on the show. So one of the other things that we're still struggling a little bit with staffing, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of the gig economy staffing is still a little bit challenging. So getting labor for load-in for big shows is a little bit of a challenge, and getting enough staffing in the box office and our concession stands has been a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, so our regular hours are Monday through Friday, and we try to be open on weekends as much as we can.
And then always caclive.com.
Always, yes. And increasingly folks prefer to buy their tickets through the web. It's just 24-hour, 7-day-a-week convenience.
The second you think of it, you can do that right at midnight.
Yep.
Well, when you have the different shows in there and the people come from the different organizations, is there any kind of rental fee that you use for the facilities?
There is, yeah. So, and heavily discounted for local groups, particularly for local nonprofit groups. We give them a significantly discounted rental fee. And we don't really, again, Community Arts Center, which is owned by Penn College, doesn't really make money. Our intent is to break even with just about everything that we do. We're a nonprofit, so we don't upcharge local groups. We essentially just charge them enough that we can cover costs to keep the building cool or keep it warm if it's in the winter months, and cover custodial staff and the box office staff and things like that for the shows.
If you have a person that's a member of the Community Arts Center, do they have much input as far as what comes to the programs in our area?
Yeah, absolutely. We solicit feedback from the members all the time, and from the general community. Now, certainly the members have kind of an inside route to that kind of thing because their donations give them a little bit of a leg up there. But we always take suggestions for anything, and we try to take that into account whenever we're booking programming for the upcoming years.
I also realized that you can put stuff on the marquee. Like you could have somebody like "Happy Birthday, Jim."
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for a relatively low fee. Yeah, you can. We will put messaging on our marquee. Yep.
That's great. So when people come to the show, is the parking easy? It's all around the city, really.
That's correct. I mean, it's downtown. So if you've ever been downtown Williamsport, parking can sometimes be hit and miss, but there's an ample amount of parking most of the time. I mean, there are several accessible paid parking lots, and there's quite a bit of on-street parking. But again, it's a little bit of a roll of the dice sometimes. I mean, there are large parking lots within easy walking distance of the Community Arts Center. And I have not yet gotten to the point, I've not heard from any patrons that they couldn't find parking. Mm-hmm. So the other nice thing is that there's a kind of a temporary parking space directly in front of the venue, so folks with disabilities will get dropped off there and come in, and then whoever is driving will park and then walk back to the venue. So we try to make it as convenient as possible.
Well, let's talk about a little bit of the shows that are coming up that we can look forward to for the fall. I mean, now some of the tickets that go on sale, every time that you look at one of the things on CAClive.com, they're going to tell you tickets go on sale such and such a date. Okay.
Yes, yep.
So I was curious about the MasterChef Junior Live. It's coming up after the Eagles tribute. It's like a program for the kids and the family.
Yeah, it's a live production of a fairly popular Fox reality TV cooking show called MasterChef. And every other year, one year they will do adult MasterChef, and then the next year they will do MasterChef Kids, I should say. So MasterChef Junior is what we have this year. It's the actual folks who are on stage performing. I shouldn't say performing because they're cooking is what they're really doing. It's actually the winners and the runners-up from the series that just concluded. The series concluded, I want to say, in June. And the celebrity judges are there as well. Now, I do have to mention Gordon Ramsay is one of the judges on that show. He is actually not going to be on this tour, unfortunately. Okay. But everybody else will be there.
Well, that's pretty neat.
As you probably know, Pennsylvania College of Technology has a really strong hospitality and culinary program. Yeah. So we're working on some tie-ins for that as well, either somewhere else in the venue or maybe up on stage. We're still negotiating that now.
I learned that when they went out to the Kentucky Derby and served 300,000 people.
Yeah, wow. It's excellent.
And Lejeune Chef does have their opportunities to have people use that facility too.
Correct, yep.
I bet that you guys can partner up and do a lot of different things together.
We try to, yeah, as schedules allow, yeah.
Fun. Well, okay, we got other music things that are actually coming up and dance things that are on the way this fall?
Mm-hmm. We've got a magic show coming as well, but for anyone who's a fan of ballet or modern dance, we have Ailey 2, which is the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. If you're not familiar with Alvin Ailey, he's an iconic figure in ballet and modern dance, and this is his namesake company.
Neat.
They're going to be here on Tuesday, October 25th. We've also got a ton of other great music, obviously. So we already talked about ZZ Top. We've got Home Free coming on Thursday, October 27th. Home Free is a fantastic a cappella country group.
Oh, that sounds neat.
Yeah, we're really excited. They won the Sing-Off in 2013, and they've been very popular and on tour ever since. So we're excited to have them. That's going to be a great show.
That can inspire a lot of musicians in town.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
I would really. Particularly vocally, and they're an a cappella group. They tour with the band as well, so it's not just 5 guys on stage singing. They've got a full band with them as well, so they don't only do a cappella.
Okay,
yeah.
This really is a diverse group of things that people all over the county can come and enjoy.
We try to get family-friendly shows as much as we can. We try to get a little something for everyone, so it's not all family-friendly, but we certainly have quite a few family-friendly shows. We talked about MasterChef Junior. We also have a Disney show coming, Disney Junior Live on Tour Costume Palooza.
Oh.
It's kind of a throwback to the older Disney on Ice style shows, sort of a variety show where everybody dresses up. And it's a great show for the whole family to come out, bring the kids, bring the grandparents, and enjoy the Disney properties.
That's neat. Then you have like the people that are on stage for that are like a sparkle to them or something. And you get to see them right up close.
Yes, and there are no bad seats in the Community Arts Center, as you may or may not know.
I agree.
So
My favorite seat is the one right back next to the sound booth. The one little seat. That's one of my favorite spots.
Yeah. Yep. Great sight lines, and the sound sounds great through the whole theater. So,
are there other shows that we want to make sure that people are aware of?
Well, absolutely. We didn't talk about comedy, so I want to just touch on that briefly. We've got Who's Live Anyway, which is the stage recreation of the long-running sketch show Whose Line Is It Anyway? That was originally hosted by Drew Carey.
Yeah.
So it's Ryan Stiles and Greg Proops and many of the regulars from that show. They tour and do live sketches on stage.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, they are. I mean, really.
Ryan Stiles, he cracks me up.
I'm always amazed at their ability to think on their feet and make any situation funny.
That they can sing songs off the top of their head.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I can't even take 10 minutes and do that.
I know. They're incredibly quick-witted and talented individuals. It's
When's
amazing.
that show coming up?
That show is Friday, October 28th.
Okay.
So another Friday night show.
Well, that sounds good. Coming up in the fall, it's going to be fun walking around downtown. It's going to feel good. I'm imagining the fall feeling.
It is a great time of year to be downtown. Yeah, I agree. And then we've got Steep Canyon Rangers coming next March. Steep Canyon Rangers are a great bluegrass band. They actually just came off a tour with Steve Martin.
Okay.
So Steve Martin, the comedian, if folks don't know, he also is a virtuoso banjo player.
Yes, he taught himself how to do that by slowing down the record.
Oh, I never knew that.
I read that in his autobiography.
No
He slowed
kidding.
down the record and played it real slow and got faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, that's practice makes perfect. And they're a great band on their own as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I love the bluegrass genre. That's wonderful. And really has taken off with modern music being used in a bluegrass way.
Yeah, agreed. We had just to look backwards briefly, last spring we had Bela Fleck, who is world famous bluegrass artist, and that show was incredible. So we try to kind of get a little something for everyone every year.
Well, wonderful. Yeah. All right, and coming up into the Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas time?
Oh yeah, we've got a ton of great holiday shows. We've got every year we do the Nutcracker, which is a local community production that we do with Lycoming College and St. John's School of the Dance.
Okay.
So that will feature all local children, local dancers and local choreographers and directors, and everyone involved in that is local talent.
Fun.
We also have Cirque Musica Holiday Spectacular. That's on Tuesday, December 6th. And that's a sort of global phenomenon. If you're familiar with Cirque du Soleil,
they're going to be in doing the acrobatics.
Yeah, yep. So it's a holiday take on that show with acrobatics and dance and music and a little bit of everything.
Have I told you, Jim, that I've seen 5 Cirque shows and I'm looking to add to my collection?
That's amazing. Well, hopefully you'll be able to catch this one.
I hope so.
It's going to be great.
That's good for Christmas. That's good Christmas gifts.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, tickets do make great Christmas gifts for sure. We also are going to do the Williamsport Symphony Orchestra. They do their shows every year, and we'll do a holiday show for them as well. They do several shows a year, one of which is their holiday spectacular show that they do, and it's great to see the community come out and see so much local talent playing on our stage.
I would think this Christmas people are going to be hungry for some live stage shows.
Yes, yeah, I think that's absolutely true.
And keep them here. They don't need to go see those Rockettes.
Right, yeah, right.
When are you going to get the Rockettes, Jim?
I don't think the Rockettes leave Radio City Music Hall.
They have to come up out of the hole in the ground. You need a hole in the ground, Jim. About staging and different kinds of things for the sets, do you get volunteers to clean the curtains or wash the floor? What do you do in there?
We do have a pretty robust volunteer staff. They typically act as ushers and ticket takers and a lot of the front of house duties. They kind of help with people management up front. And we're super appreciative of them because honestly, without the volunteers, we would not be able to do what we do. We just, again, as a nonprofit, we just can't afford to have an army of people doing that. And luckily for us, for 30 years, we've had great volunteers who come in and help us out.
They've always been so lovely when I've been in there. The ladies they'll sit with me in the back when I'm by myself. They'll be my friend.
Yeah, they're wonderful people, all of them. I mean, anyone who is willing to put up their own time to do that. And we're always looking for more volunteers, obviously. And I should mention that the fringe benefit is that you do get to see shows for free when you volunteer and you're there working. So that's nice too.
Wonderful. People who have enjoyed this all their lives can now retire and come and see shows.
Yep.
For sure.
And so you asked about our stage crew. They're not volunteer, but we do have an excellent technical crew. I would argue the best in the area when it comes to sound and lighting and just backstage production. We have fantastic group of people.
You sort of have a vessel. If a company comes with their show, they bring their sets and things with them.
Correct. The way that typically would work, and I'll use a traveling Broadway show, for instance, as an example. They will come in, and they'll come in with several tractor trailers and buses with all of their cast and crew. And it's kind of incredible if you think about how Broadway works, to be able to put up all of that production and then tear it down in the span of, say, 16 or 18 hours is an amazing sight to see. They work incredibly fast and incredibly efficiently.
Wow.
And we do always offset them with local talent. So not just from Williamsport, but from surrounding areas as well. And as you can imagine, that type of skill set is not something that you can find anywhere on the street, right? It's a fairly specialized group of people.
To bring them with you.
Yeah, so we have to sometimes cast the net pretty far and wide to get enough people for some of the larger shows. But
I see. That would help with roadieing and things like that, and unloading?
Yep. Unloading, loading, flymen, riggers, people who hang the lights and things like that. It's an army of people to make shows like that happen.
Now, does the Uptown Music Collective have a segment of their school for that particular stuff?
They do. I mean, I know they call it the Tech Monkey program, and that is something that all of their students, if I'm not mistaken, participate in some capacity.
Okay.
They learn a little bit. When I was doing this work myself, we always made the comparison that even an artist has to know how to mix paint. Right. You still need to know a little bit about how behind the scenes work, even if you're the one who's on stage all the time.
Excellent. If you're cooking on the fire, you should chop wood too.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That sounds good. Well, yeah, we are certainly looking forward to some great stuff for the 2022 and then beyond. When do you start getting information for 2023?
We're working on that now. We actually do have some shows already booked for 2023.
Okay.
And I can mention a couple of those here, but we're always looking at new shows. The programming and booking process really never stops. So it is sometimes a little bit of a challenge to get the pieces to line up. And that is where it sometimes becomes tricky because we always want to make sure that we accommodate our local groups as well. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we'll get a request from someone that says, hey, I want to bring in this act this Saturday, and we can't do it because we've already committed to a show like the Uptown Music Collective or something. And again, we prioritize those groups. But we're always booking new stuff. We don't typically do a lot of warm weather shows because, during the summer months, folks want to do
stuff
outdoor
at the Brandon
festivals.
Park.
Exactly. Or they want to go to their river lots, or they want to go to a giant amphitheater outdoors or a big outdoor multi-band festival or something like that. So we don't do a lot of that type of thing. But we do in the fall and spring, we really try to get as much as we can.
It might look unbusy outside, but it's busy inside going on.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, it never really slows down on the backside, that's for sure.
So is there one particular fun thing coming up in 2023 that you'd like to highlight?
So we've got a couple things right now that we're working on. But right now we've got Rumors, which is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Mm-hmm. They're going to be here on Saturday, March 4th. You can't see Fleetwood Mac live anymore. Lindsey Buckingham tours separately and Stevie Nicks tours separately, and the band doesn't ever really do reunions. So
those personalities.
Yeah, exactly. So the tribute bands are kind of the next best thing there. And then on Friday, May 5th, we've got a show called One Night in Memphis, which is a recreation of a night when Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash all met and jammed together in a studio in Memphis. So that's going to be a fun show as well.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like an amazing thing to put on our calendars. Jot them down.
Yeah, and there will be more. There certainly will be more.
I'm looking forward to Christmas time. Hopefully someone will get me a gift card from the Community Arts Center. You got them. You can call up and order
That's right.
them.
We do. Yep. You can call and order. They just like tickets, they make great gifts, and they're non-specific. So if you're not sure what someone likes, you can get them a gift card and they can pick their own show.
Well, Jim Dougherty, it's been wonderful talking to you about the Community Arts Center. Get tickets for the shows coming up here at the end of August and September, CAClive.com.
That's right.
And
326-2424 is our box office number.
And they're open 9 to 5 each day.
That's right.
Well, it's wonderful that you took over during the pandemic. What did you do before this? Where did you come from?
So I actually worked for Pennsylvania College of Technology for many years before this. And going way back, I was a drummer, a session drummer, and a live drummer in a lot of different bands. And I was a filmmaker in Philadelphia for a few years before I moved back to Williamsport.
You certainly have a lot of skills we could use around here.
Yeah, it's been a zigzagged line to get where I am.
Well, it's wonderful to meet you this year, and I'm so glad that you can come and share about the Community Arts Center here on In Touch on Backyard Broadcasting Station.
Thank you very much, Freddi. I'm happy to be here.
In Touch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, PA 17701, attention Freddi Hammer, or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. For archived programs of our In Touch series, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backyard Broadcasting. Each current weekly program is featured on the Backyard Broadcasting websites. Individual opinions expressed here don't necessarily reflect the opinions of the management or staff. Thanks for listening to In Touch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.